Hi there. I've got some tomatoes ready to go, and I thought it would be helpful if I did a kind of comparison of the different tomato varieties that you can find in the plant tents in the spring. I always wonder which ones would be better, what the difference is. So I planted a couple different ones and I thought we'd look at them. Okay, we're getting towards the end of the summer, and for whatever reason my tomatoes always start looking pretty raggedy, but they're all tomatoes, all these different kinds, so they grow like tomatoes. And these are not including cherry tomatoes, which have their own varieties and are delicious just to eat right off the plant. But they're small. They are supposed to ripen earlier than the rest. Come over. These were an interesting one that I planted. My ripe ones are inside, but these are called a Cherokee Purple, and they did produce, I don't know, I'd say about 15, 20, but see, they're kind of splitting. We've just had a lot of rain, kind of had some yucky weather, and my ripe ones are inside, but those are the Cherokee Purple. Over here, I have my great big Beefsteak. There's a big one down there. These are the huge tomatoes that we'll go inside and look at. And I also planted something called Celebrities, which is just a hybrid that I found in the plant section. So they kind of remind me of early girls, not overly big, not super small, but they seem to bear pretty heavily on the plant. So let's go in and look at the individual tomatoes. Okay, let's look at each of these tomatoes when they're cut open. So here's the Romas, and this is pretty normal of what you'll get. You get usually a ton of Romas. I plant several, and they just keep coming and coming and ripening. So when you open them, you can see that they're pretty meaty. They're not bad. And here's a slice of one. So they're fairly meaty. Got to cut out some seeds. They do have some seeds. So they work pretty well for sauces and things. You just need a lot. You're messing with them a lot. Now this is the Beefsteak, and they get really big, just really big. I had a ginormous one, but it kind of broke apart. It's really cool. So when you open up these, you can see that they are a lot meatier, I think. Very meaty tomatoes. Just get a lot in there, not a lot of seeds. So those are going to be really easy to work with. Don't need, obviously, as many. I think personally you just get a lot more tomato in there. They have a little different taste than Roma, so they all have their certain purposes. Now these are the Celebrities and the Early Girls. I can't really tell apart who's who. I've lost track of which plant was which, and they seem very similar. Out of them all, I think these have kind of a, I don't know, weaker taste. They just remind me of what I'd buy in a store even when they're ripe. They have a lot more seed and pulp, I think, than any of these other ones that I have, but they still work just fine. They just might be a little more watery when you're working with them. They yield pretty well, and the tomatoes I noticed look really nice. Some of these other ones get kind of nasty looking. These look really pretty, so nothing wrong with them. They're just a little different. And finally, we have this Cherokee Purple, which is a strange looking tomato all the way around. But tell you what, out of all of them, I think this one tastes the best. And it's pretty meaty on the inside. It's got almost a weird purplish color to the inside of it. But I've been taste testing them, and I really think it tastes the best with the Beefsteak right behind it. But Cherokee Purple is definitely something I will plant again because I think it's kind of neat. So I hope this is helpful to you when you're picking out those tomatoes in the spring, figuring out which ones are going to work best for what you need to use them for. They all freeze just as well, and I make sauces and salsas and everything with all of them all the same. Just mix them up, so it all works great. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos.